teacher made the mistake of saying, making a derogatory remark about African Americans. And I didn't like it. And I didn't think it was right. It was fair. So I went to the library the next day, and for a week I got about 6 or 7 books, and proved to her that she was wrong. Now, I don't know whether you want to know what the incident was, you want to know what she said?
Yes.
Oh, well, said something to the effect that all black people, when they came to this country, they were ignorant. They were in ill health and ignorant. And I had to prove to her that she was wrong, and I did that. Through our own historians, who wrote African American history, through other books. I got the information and I gave it to her. And she apologized.
How are you active in the community?
Well, I'm a retired school teacher, but I'm still very active, being supportive of grandchildren who are in school in Hartford and elsewhere. Very active in my church, as a teacher in an after-school program. I have been involved in STOW as a board member. I'm very busy. In fact, I'm beginning to wonder how I had time to work.
What advice would you give to the younger generation today?
Study. Go to school, get your books, study. Don't worry about the cell phone, don't worry about the mall. Boys, right now you got time. Just hit those books and come out, go to college, get a good job, take care of yourself, be independent to a certain extent. Independent. Oh yeah. In anything that, have respect for elders, yourself, everybody, just have respect. Start with yourself. Have respect for yourself. Don't let nobody come and abuse you. Always have you somebody you can talk to, adult, that you trust and can talk to. Because sometimes you can talk to your parents, sometimes you can't. They hear you, but other people hear you differently. Always have somebody to talk to.
What advice would you give to my generation, like my family members, or from your generation?
I would love to see students or children like you be more aware of their history. Who did what and why. I was at an NAACP celebration in Boston 2 weeks ago, and they were celebrating the Narragansett movement. How many people, how many of you youngsters know that the Narragansett movement that met in Boston 100 years ago is the beginning of the NAACP? How many of you know that? I could tell you a dozen. But you can go through your whole school, not like a dozen. I didn't know it until my daughter told me. So if we were aware more of our history, I think we can move forward faster and better. I think history has a lot to do with how people see things, how people feel, and make them aware of more things, I think.
Thank you for your time. For the generation of today, what is your advice and how they can get involved in society?
I fully believe that when you become a volunteer, that you're giving something back to the community, you're giving something back to people, you're helping people, and I think everybody ought to volunteer for something.
How do you see yourself as a contributor to this community?
When I was a freshman in college, I worked with Education Main Street, where I went and tutored with at Fisher, and I was able to work with kids, and I wasn't able to work with kids after that. And I feel like this project has helped me to interact with younger generations again within Hartford, because yes, I go to school on campus, but I feel like I'm not involved in the community as more. So I feel like with this project, I'm able to reach out and just to get to know some of the kids, and also reach out and talk to older generations. That has paved the way for me to be able to go to school and be able to do some of the things that I'm able to do now.
How has this project inspired you?
I feel this project has inspired me to just get more involved and actually look to the past to kind of see what I can do for the future. It's made me want to contribute more to future generations. That way I can benefit and also help change. If I don't see something I quite like, it makes me want to go out there, be active, and try and work for change for it.
So what have you learned from this project?
So far, I learned how, like, the differences between schools back then and here in 2007. Like, back then, schools were different, and sometimes blacks couldn't go to school at all, or either there was only, like, a class of only blacks and only, like, a class of only whites. Here today, like, it's mixed, like, with Hispanics and whites, blacks, everybody, and it's easier for everybody to learn together.
How has this project inspired you?
The older women taught us, like, told us their life stories and told us how many goals that, like, they accomplished. I wanted, you know, to be like them and reach all my goals for people, like younger people, once I get older, to look up to me as I do them.
Hartford's a great place. It really is a nice city to live in. I feel as though the younger kids of today need a boost in getting involved. It doesn't matter what they're involved in, as long as they join a club, join something, and develop a passion, because passion is what makes people want to make a difference.
It really got the girls, after meeting with the women, got inspired, and they wanted to go out and do something, and they felt happy that they got to meet these amazing women.
These women have inspired me. I want to go out. I'm about to graduate. I want to go out and, follow in their footsteps and do something good for the world. Do something that has a positive influence. And I hope that the girls follow in the same footsteps, and it's like a cycle.
Wherever you are, you can always change the system, and it's sometimes harder for females, but just the little things really count.
We really hope that the younger girls of today, people of today, can get out there and be inspired and do something, and know that they too can make a difference in this world. It doesn't matter what they do, as long as they make a positive change in somebody's life.
Harriet Beecher Stowe's words changed the world, and I think it's important for people to remember that there's lots of different ways that they can make change. Big change, small change, it all matters as long as you're working to make a difference. That's the important thing.
This project celebrates the legacy of Harriet Beecher Stowe and other great women who have contributed to progress in our community today. These women were social activists who brought awareness to certain issues in an effort to change the world and make it a better place to live in. We hope that by watching this video and listening to their stories, you would be inspired to go into your prospective communities and make positive impacts. And always remember that one person's contribution can make a huge difference in the world. Thank you for watching.